Welcome to the Spit Bucket. How tough are you?
Thanks for joining us.
We were blasting this in the car last night.
That's me without auto-tune.
It's true. I've recorded him before.
Got him.
Got his ass.
Got my dumb ass, my ugly ass, my stupid ass.
Alright, welcome to the Spit Bucket, everyone. My name's Omar, and as you guys can already hear, there's more people here than the past, like,
Can I get some
2-3
water
episodes.
before we start? Is that
This one, yeah.
No, you don't get a water. Alright,
Thank you.
so, with me at the table, as always, Jam Heartbreak.
Aw, thank you.
Alright, well,
They're good.
that was that.
I appreciate that.
Alright, that's the only intro I had. Alright, so everyone just say your names now. We've never done it that way, where I don't introduce everyone.
Yeah, they're at a loss for words.
Yeah. Alright, who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the only one, baby. Am I right? I'm Mario. It's me, Mario.
It's Mario, everyone. Alright, I guess I'll have to introduce everyone else. That didn't work out the way I needed it to. Also at the table, we have Alan.
Hello.
He said,
Alright, and then, didn't invite me to a concert, but that's okay. It's Erik Mendoza.
What concert?
yesterday.
The one that you came here for.
Yeah.
Yesterday? Turnover?
Yeah. Why didn't you have an extra ticket for that one?
You know what? I did. I bought you.
Oh my god!
I had 3 tickets. I swear I had 3 tickets.
Why didn't you tell me?
And Steven didn't go either, so technically I would have had 2 had he been willing to give me one. But the thing is we drove straight there and we got there.
I could have driven myself there.
Well, it started at 7:30 and Steven told me at like 6:40 that he wasn't going. I was like, I don't think anyone's going to be able to show up last minute like that. And then not only that,
I was doing nothing.
We didn't get there till past 8. So we got there as the second band was playing. And they played like 5 songs and then Turnover started.
Damn. Alright, well,
Omar, what do we do about this boy?
I don't know what we gotta do about this.
We can go see it. I think they might go on tour again right away. So we can go. Because they were actually really good.
Yeah, they looked good.
From Instagram, where we saw it.
Yeah, one of my friends was saying that he was okay with not going because he says that Turnover isn't really that good live. And I told him, I was like, I saw those videos where they did sound like a little funky.
Uh-huh.
The guy singing doesn't play guitar anymore. So because the new album has a lot of like synth in it, he sat and played piano, and then he had 2 guitarists. So I think he was trying to focus more on singing with the new album. So
Makes
now
sense.
even their old songs with him not playing guitar sound better. Because he, I think, is more focused on singing. But
Well,
yeah, you got
that's
you guys,
good. We'll
you
go
guys-
next
As soon
time.
as you had 2 extra tickets and you didn't fucking tell
Well, you guys missed out, so don't blame me on that.
Great, thanks, Erik.
You're welcome.
Do we have anything that...
hello? You're so fucking rude. You didn't introduce
There's
Stephanie.
two. There's 2 whole other people.
Piece of shit.
There's a whole 2
All right.
other people.
I'm gonna have Jam introduce the ladies.
We got to my right, we have Stephanie. Mario Stephanie.
Here, wave into the microphone. There we go.
And to my left, we have Erik Stephanie. Stephanie.
There you go.
Hello.
Perfect.
So,
All right.
we got
Forgive him for he is not a gentleman.
He is a man, so he is not nice.
But we got some beef between you two that we got to squash. There's this thing on Instagram, right, where someone had Stephanie with 3 E's because someone had Stephanie with 2 E's.
It's the other way around.
3 and 4.
It's 3 and 4.
Oh, okay.
Learn how to count.
All right, never mind then. I think we got the wrong people.
You fucked up the joke.
You had one job.
And I fucked it up. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't done this in a while. I'm not used to having 6 people look at me. Jesus Christ. All right. That wasn't fun. Do we have anything from the last episode that we were supposed to touch up on? Oh, we figured out the movie. Mario figured out the movie that Jam was talking about with the aliens and the owls.
And I already forgot what it's called.
Kind.
What's it called?
The fourth kind.
The fourth.
Oh, yeah, and I've seen
That
it.
movie's awesome, but don't watch it.
Because it is scary.
Yeah, it's spooky. Man, what time did we watch that movie? 3 in the morning?
I think so.
You're nasty. That's witching hours.
Yeah.
And you guys watching the 4th kind?
I don't know if we started at 3 or it ended at 3.
Either way, that's the devil's hour.
Yeah, but we were so scared and so fucked up from that movie that we waited till the sun came up
To
and
go
it
to
was
bed.
to drop me off at my place because we didn't want to go out at dark.
Both of you were
I don't
too
blame
scared.
y'all. Damn.
When was the last time you guys watched a movie that legitimately freaked you out to that point?
I want to say when I saw As Above, So Below, and I was sitting in bed, and even with like the TV on, I was still too freaked out to sleep. But then as soon as I saw like the sun outside the window, you see the sky turning like a light blue, like the sun's about to come out. I'm like,
safety.
Yes, and I like knock out. You feel like a baby. Yeah.
2010 was the last time I was really freaked out. I had to look up the movie. How far was that? That was
9 years ago.
Yeah,
9 years ago.
What's the movie?
What was the movie?
The Last Exorcism. I will reveal a dark secret that only a few know.
Oh, yeah?
So I went to see that movie and it freaked me out so bad. So that was 9 years ago. How old am I? 24. Someone do the math. How old is that?
13. No.
16.
15.
15?
Sure.
Point of fact is I was too old to do what I did. So I went to go see that movie, and afterwards I was so freaked out I went home and I slept with my parents and everything. And I was like, I went home and I was like, I woke them up and I was like, hey, can I sleep at the foot of your bed? I was like, I saw something that like really freaked me out because that movie is creepy. They're
like, what'd you see, mijo? A scary movie.
Yeah,
Mommy.
and I slept with them.
Stephanie, did you know this?
No.
I think only a couple people know.
I knew about it because you told me I think like a week after it happened.
Yeah,
he was like really embarrassed and told me, he's like, man, that movie freaked me out. Like,
because
and here's the thing, when growing up, like Eric really loved scary movies, and every time we'd go see one, I'd come out like shaking, and Eric would be like, man, that movie sucked. And I'm like, this dude is never satisfied.
Yeah, but that movie freaked me.
Yeah.
What freaked you out about it?
Just the whole thing.
The 2010 Last Exorcist.
Yeah,
to check
Last
it out.
Exorcism.
Yeah, I want to watch the movie that scared Eric that bad. I want to go sleep with my mommy and daddy.
The creepiest part of that movie was when the girl gets like locked in the room and he's trying to like help her out and he's like opening it and then like of course she's got the demonic presence in her, so she's like slamming on the door and then like this really bogus like flute starts playing.
It's the Titanic theme song on the.
It freaked me out like so bad. And then like he opens the door and like obviously she's like nowhere near the door. She ends up being like on top of a dresser and like the other side of the room. It's just so creepy. And because like apparently like that girl actually knows how to do that.
Yeah.
So she did that like actually in the movie.
We did watch that one.
Did we?
That one.
It's creepy. The whole thing is like
a while ago.
is really spooky. But that was the last movie that actually like freaked me out.
Yeah, I know the exact scene you're talking about when she's on top of the dresser. Yeah. That scene freaked me out.
But just that whole movie was creepy. So
She starts playing the Pallet Town theme on the flute. Like, no, but I do remember that part too. That was kind of creepy.
yeah, 2010. That's the last time.
That's the last time you slept with your parents. They said, "Did you lock the door?"
That's right. Stephanie watched Hereditary.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
I haven't finished watching it.
I love that movie.
I got up to the part where that girl kissed the telephone pole.
Fuck! It gets so much better after that.
Yeah,
It really
I've heard
does.
it.
crazier.
It gets really weird.
I think
Did
I've
you
only
see?
seen a little bit of it at the beginning and
Did you see Midsummer?
Not yet.
I want
to see that. Like, Hereditary gets better with each viewing because you notice little things. But Stephanie couldn't sleep for a while.
Just like The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan.
Because we were watching it at my house, right? We were watching Hereditary,
Yeah,
and like I remember I was walking around like picking up because I had a bunch of people over at the house, and then that scene with the girl and the pole, it happened, and I stopped what I was doing. I'm like, oh shit, can they show that? Like,
Yeah,
is that
was,
okay?
Like, actually, like really weird. When I saw that,
Everyone
I
in the living room was like,
"Ooh." Yeah, I was like, what the
"Oh."
hell? Last time I saw a kid die in a movie was in the Pet Cemetery, where they like show and that's like the original one, like the very first one, because like the guy like injects the little kid with like the thing you put like animals to sleep with. The little kid like walks off and just like dies on the floor. That's the last time I saw a kid die in a movie. Was Pet
And that's a movie before you were even born.
Yeah, so it was after I saw it when it had already been out like for a really long time. That's the last time I saw a kid die in a movie.
So the reason we were talking about all this was because Mario let us know about that movie and told us how scared he was. So that brings me to a story, and I don't know if you guys are gonna like this story or not. And it's not necessarily funny because we were talking about it. I feel like I have to bring it up. So Mario, what was the thing that you were saying about if aliens come to Earth?
Depending on what these aliens want, if we're like their playthings and stuff, I'm just literally gonna kill myself easily.
What would you guys do?
Because I know there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I've said the same thing too. Like if I ever saw a meteor coming down, like a big one, or if I ever saw, because that's my biggest fear is tsunamis.
Dude,
Because
we live in the Midwest.
I know, but like I have that image of like the tsunami, basically overshadowing all of New York, and that burned into my mind. And I always said, like, if I ever see a meteor or a tsunami coming at me and I had a gun in my hand, like, it's no.
Well, there's so much plastic in the ocean right now that you can probably float on top of the tsunami.
What's that national park here in the U.S. where they're kind of just
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone. That's gonna kill everybody.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Cannot
like,
wait.
it's better to die instantly when it explodes than to be in the aftermath of it.
From what I understand, it's not going to be an instant death for like us over here. What's going to kill us? It's all the black
dust.
clouds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like making us freeze to death.
That sounds fun, but this sounds more fun. So, truckers. This isn't my story, but this is just something I wanted to bring up because of what we were talking about. Truckers report a 7-foot tall person with wings near O'Hare International Airport.
Why would you tell me that?
I love this.
my God.
I'm sufficiently
Wasn't there a town that we were talking about, like in the early days of our group chat? What was it, like the Mothman?
Yeah, that's
that's
in West Virginia.
They have a
West
statue
Virginia.
of him. Yeah.
I think it's West Virginia.
So he migrated over here.
The Jersey Devil too.
Oh yeah.
So this
There's
was
a frogman too somewhere. I have to look that up.
in a skunk ape. This was reported on December 6th of 2019.
Ooh.
Wait, what day is it?
Today's the 8th.
I hate you.
So I just read this. This was going to be my story originally, but there's not really that much to it, so that's why I didn't want to count it. This guy named Manuel from the UFO Clearinghouse received a report from the O'Hare International Airport in Chicago when a trucker spotted the 7-foot tall person with wings outside of the fence by the parking lot. The sighting reportedly took place at approximately 6:30 p.m. on November 26th. So the trucker, this is his own words. I was at the airport picking up a load from Nippon Cargo Airline. I was already backed into the dock, and while I was standing there in front of the truck smoking a cigarette while they loaded the truck, I was looking at the runways in the direction of the tunnel. That's when I noticed something looked like a big bird standing outside of the fence by the parking lot. It was not hard to miss because there was 2 street lamps nearby, and it looked like a person with wings. They were stretched out and they were flapping. It was walking away from the fences towards the open field and then began flapping its wings and disappeared.
What was he smoking?
But yeah, what was in those Nippon cigarettes?
Good question.
The guy is Hispanic, so he was referencing it on the phone, saying that he was standing by his truck smoking the cigarette, and he used words to describe it like, where is it? Demonio and duende.
Oh.
Fucking gnomes, dude.
Well, there's that one species of owl that it's way too big for its own good, and it looks like a person.
Is it called like the harpy eagle or something like that?
I think so. Let me try to find
No,
a
that's
picture.
a Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. The harpy girls? Dude, I had a weird thing for them.
Thank you
Harpy
very
ladies.
much.
I remember getting that card and feeling funny. Jam, is that the owl, the eagle you're looking up?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Okay. We'll put that up on the Instagram so you guys can check that out. But that's how he described it, saying that the creature had his back turned towards him when he started moving like a bird and then started flapping his wings, but it was way too large to be a bird, and it was 7 feet tall. There was several other sightings in the area, including October 30th of a large winged humanoid in Park Ridge, and then another winged humanoid October 19th that was described as a giant bat outside of the Edward Hotel in Rosemont. And then October 5th...
These are getting closer. I don't know if you know that.
Look at how big that bird
Sounds
is.
like a cosplayer.
It might be. It is Rosemont.
Harpy eagle.
It could be Hawks from My Hero.
Maybe. And then October 5th, the sighting of a tall creature, bright red eyes, and large wings near the O'Hare International Airport. And then on top of this one. So October 30, 29, 19, November 29.
That looks like something from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And this is like the artist's rendering of what the guy described when he saw it. See if you guys can see that.
Oh, it looks like a moth.
No, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So this is how the guy
I
described
don't
him.
think it's this guy.
Hell
No
no.
way.
Yeah, that's not an eagle.
That's
If I saw that, like, it would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to believe me, and I'm going to cry because I think it noticed me and it has to kill me because, it can't
You'll
be found
snitch.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about aliens, and I wanted to bring that up
Great,
because
thanks.
there was a lot of sightings recently in the area where we live. Isn't that kind of fun? Where do you think it hides during the day? Because those are pretty populated areas. Where would it even go?
That beast is going to listen to this podcast and kill us all for even knowing its existence.
Well, we're not the ones that saw it. And also, I never described it as a duende. That was someone else.
How can we trust this paisa, though?
But aren't
How can
duendes
we
small?
not?
Aren't duendes supposed to be small?
He said like a duende. And duende, I guess, just means
Like-
goblin.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's probably just describing like the ears or something.
Yeah. Big red eyes. Let's go find it. Do you guys want to go look for it?
Sewers.
Can we go look for it in your cemetery, Alan?
Spit bucket field trip.
I hope it's not there.
It's not that thing hooting in your backyard.
Probably.
Are you guys scared now?
Yeah, you know
How do
what
you
it
guys feel
reminds me?
about shooting stars?
I
What?
love them.
I like them.
Was that what we saw when we were driving back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving and we saw a shooting star and I started freaking out.
He almost crashed the car.
I mean,
I was freaked out.
Vernon
I hate
Hills?
seeing those things.
We went the last. I'm trying to think. Oh, we went to go
Some
see.
people make wishes. Eric just gets terrified.
We went to go see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that opening weekend that it came out in theaters. And it was me, Omar, and his two sisters. And we were walking out from the theater because we were going to go to Whole Foods first to get like some snacks. And we stop and we look up and there's just a row of like maybe 4 or 5 lights that aren't like necessarily in uniform, but they're like, you know.
They're obvious.
It's enough to tell they're in a line, but it wasn't like a straight line. And then there was like a bigger one, a smaller one, smaller. So they were like kind of diagonal to where we were standing. And then they were just like somewhere like blinking harder than the others. And then the rest just disappeared and there was just that one lone blinker.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like looked back up, we saw a bat fly by, and then they were gone.
Yeah, it was a weird night. But also with shooting stars, the thing that creeps me out is that star died like millions of years ago. So we're just watching the past. But like
No, those aren't shooting stars. Those are regular stars.
what?
Yeah. So
But they died.
regular stars, a lot of them have already died, but their light is taking so long to get to us. They
But
were just like,
then what are shooting stars?
they die because they're like, a lot of them don't die. They're just passing by or they burn out in our atmosphere.
Creepy.
What if what we see with that is that light going to where, you know, like how like when the light turns off because it died, that's that light traveling, like, so all these aliens are seeing, like that star that just passed is the one that's gonna die when they look up and it just like goes away. That
Maybe.
was that light traveling.
Is this a spooky bucket?
I don't know. It's just it kind of turned into
This
it.
is Omar's fault, so.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault that I'm just reporting the news. If you guys live in Park Ridge or in Rosemont, keep an eye out. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
I got a
There's a
Bigfoot
fucking
story.
alien out here. Do you want to do a Bigfoot
Bigfoot?
story?
Yeah.
All right, well, are we doing a spooky bucket?
I don't know, you tell me after the title of the story.
Okay.
8-foot Bigfoot statue stolen from Florida mattress store, police say. Have you seen Bigfoot? An 8-foot, 300-pound statue of Sasquatch went missing last month from outside Mattress Monsters with a Z in Boynton Beach, Florida, police say.
I'd steal that shit too.
The hard-to-miss figure was valued at $3,000. Was stolen between October 6th through the 13th, but the owner didn't report it until the 20th.
I'm smelling a conspiracy.
This is the quote from the police. They said the store didn't realize it was missing right away due to there being a lot of large decorations outside for Halloween.
We've had a lot of large customers recently. I didn't realize that our statue was missing.
It mostly just goes into how they don't believe that this could have been just one person.
I was gonna say 300's a lot for someone to just pick up and walk away.
Oh, yeah, just put it over their shoulder.
Here's said statue.
Oh, that's a cool statue. I would actually legitimately like that in my house.
Someone actually stole. My dad has like a little pizza man statue, but it's like a life size one, so it's like pretty big. And someone actually stole it and
Really?
sent him like because it had a thumbs up, and they sent him like the thumb.
Oh,
Just
Did they send it to him in the mail? They sent it to him and
Yeah,
that's
they're like,
fucked
if you
up.
want the statue back, like you have to pay like some money. My dad was just like, I guess I'm not getting the statue.
What the
Wow.
How much, do you know how much they were asking for?
I don't know. I just saw the video of like people with like hoods picking it up and like running.
Why? See, that now they just have a pizza statue because he didn't go for the ransom.
I think they left it. They actually brought it back and left it like by the dumpsters because my dad didn't pay them for it.
So they brought it back? Does he still have it?
Left it there. Yeah, he didn't put it out anymore.
Man, that's so sad.
There was these high school students who stole like a 300-foot tall. No, that's way too tall. Maybe like a 30-foot. 300 is really tall. It was like a 30-foot gorilla inflatable thing from like a car dealership, and they like set it up in their rival school. So shit's possible. Yeah. I wish there was pranks like that when we
As
were
long as
growing
they
up.
don't steal the sombrero off of that car that's on Green
Oh,
Bay.
that Green Bay Railroad?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the crown jewel of Waukegan.
Is that your whole story?
That
Someone
was it.
stole a
They're
Bigfoot
literally
statue.
still looking for it.
Okay, Okay.
Wait, did it say how much the reward for finding it was, or they just said that there's like a reward?
Yeah,
if
they
you
just said
find
it was a reward.
It's gonna be a hug.
Yeah, they're gonna be like thanks, and then just take it back.
$3,000 Bigfoot statue.
Okay, because I have the story that I was initially going to read is also about stolen. Well, I don't know if you consider it stolen property. Kind of is, but it's a lot more than that Bigfoot statue.
Oh, good.
All right. So a performance artist eats a banana that was duct taped to the wall.
Oh,
Talking about
yeah, the 120. What is it?
$120,000 art piece in quotes.
Someone ate it.
Someone ate it.
Did he buy it? At least?
Off the?
No, he didn't buy it.
He didn't buy it.
Oh, that's what I was just about to say. Like, did he buy it and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat it"?
No.
Okay.
He's a performance artist from New York. So a performance artist on Saturday ate the banana that was duct taped to the wall. That was the most talked about banana because it sold earlier this week for $120,000. The performance artist, David, I'm not going to say his last name.
Blaine.
Yeah, it was David Blaine. Came into the museum or the gallery at 1:45 and in front of all of the art lovers in the gallery decided to eat the banana. A spokesman told the newspaper that he didn't destroy the art because the banana is the idea. Also, it was meant to be replaced if needed. The $120,000 that they sold this banana for is just the idea of a banana duct taped to a wall.
I fucking hate. Man, this shit's
What?
scary.
yeah, that's pretentious as fuck.
The artist who was working on this, or who like sold this banana piece, sold 2 of them already for $125,000 each, and was working on selling another one for $150,000 when he found out that someone ate his fucking banana. So he was at the airport and rushed back when he heard someone ate his banana.
Some bullshit.
But originally he's been working on this idea for over a year now. This banana taped to a wall, where he was like trying to come up with a banana out of resin, and then tried like bronze before it struck in his head. Just gonna use a real banana.
Why not just polymer clay?
Well, I'm sure he thought of it before he realized that to make a banana taped on the wall, he should just use a real banana.
Man, fuck that noise.
It took him a year to come up with that.
Yo, was that the end of that story?
It is. There's a little part 2 to it. After they sold the banana for $120,000, the art gallery then staged a 50-person orgy to celebrate.
What?
And Madonna's daughter joined in.
Why did they have to include that? What?
Wouldn't you?
How is that related?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, why? What was the point of saying that happened afterwards?
Because if you sold $150 banana to some chumps,
$150,000.
$150,000 banana to
You're gonna
chumps,
celebrate with a
you'd be
giant
celebrating
orgy.
too. So they.
Wait, so
I swear, man.
the banana is the I don't know. Anyway, so if
You don't
you
get it.
destroy that banana that's $150,000, is that the fine that you get, or do you get like a smaller fine? Like, do you have to pay the amount of how much it is?
The guy who ate it, they said that the gallery didn't care at all. They just kicked him out.
Oh,
because the idea they're selling
so it's
the
just
idea.
a banana.
They're
taped
selling
to
the
a wall
concept
is what
of a
costs
banana
that much.
taped. Yeah. So the idea of taping a banana to your wall with duct tape is the idea that's
And
sold.
plus the fact that like the banana gets replaced is
Imagine having that much money to where you don't even know what to fucking do with it anymore.
Because he sold 2 of them, dude. He sold 2 of them, and he was working on a
He
third.
was working on a third when he sold
Jeez.
2. Also, so does that mean you can get sued if you tape a banana to a wall? Like,
you-
do you get copyright?
If you sell it
You
as
get
an art
copyright?
piece, then yes.
Oh, but
you
if
could
you
just do it for
if you
yourself.
just do it, you don't get in trouble
Uh-huh.
for it. Okay.
Exactly. So you just can't sell that
Imagine
anymore.
getting a big ass fine for taping a banana to a wall. You're gonna go, I want to see something funny, and you tape it. You just get a fine
Immediately, the SWAT team crashes through your windows.
I think that's
Why?
what I need to be doing. You ever seen that photo of it was going around Twitter, some guy just put like I think it was like a pair of glasses on the floor at an art gallery, and there was people going
Oh
around
yeah,
like,
people
wow.
thought it was an art.
People thought it was
exhibit, but
He just lost his glasses.
It was just him proving that, like, if you put anything in an art gallery, they'll think it's like art part of it.
Well, this same artist also created a $8 million toilet, and that actually also got stolen recently.
Did you guys hear about
Wow.
this, like, it was at some, like, history museum or, like, art and history museum in, like, France, probably. Somewhere, you know, white and old like that. And they stole literally, like, millions and millions of dollars worth of, like, old Renaissance jewelry. They believe it was a group of people from Malaysia that had to have been really small because they
So like pirates.
no, literally, because they stole all this jewelry in the
All
span
this jewelry?
of 6 minutes. And
Damn.
they cut a hole in the wall or in the ceiling or something that could only fit an average person-sized head. So it had
Wow.
to be very small people. And they stole all of that. They shut down, like, all the alarms.
Check every circus nearby.
Literally. So, and I mean, it's all, like, fucking raw diamonds, right? So, And they took, like, you know, like the purest form of gold back then. You know, there was no type of, you know, shenanigans. Mm-hmm. So they took, like, all these gold swords, gold jewelry, and they know they can't resell it to, like, the black market, so they're just going to destroy all this jewelry.
Yeah, and, like, melt it down?
Yeah,
or whatever?
melt it down.
What?
And people are, like, not just upset because of it being stolen, but because it's all just going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Wait, I just realized if they cut such a small hole in the ceiling for, like, would you say an average size head?
Yeah.
Maybe they just use, like, a vacuum.
Honestly,
shop
right?
vac?
'Cause I don't know
Honestly,
how you'd carry all that back out.
Isn't gold super heavy, though? Like, real gold?
Yeah, they have that whole thing. I think you guys probably know it where it actually is, but isn't it in, like, China? There's that one, like, box with, like, the hand cut out that, like, they tell people, like,
if you can get the gold out of there,
originally, if you pick it up and take it out, you could have it, but now because, like, people have learned how to do it, or there's people who are strong enough to do it, like, so easily that just, like, if you do it, they're like, okay, like, put it back.
Yeah.
But it's like that.
Yeah.
So that's the truth, because, like, well, I mean, you know, if it's actually like a person going in, then they can pick it up. But to maybe use like a vacuum, it had to be like a shop vac, like something like super strong.
A magnet.
Is gold magnetic?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's a type of metal, so why not?
They could probably find like a specific magnet for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they were
Gold
using one
magnet.
of those dinosaur heads that climb
Oh, yeah.
a long one. They were like, all right, get that piece.
Fucking
Shout out to all
magnets.
that jewelry.
How do they work? But yeah, so it wasn't even a real orgy. It was a staged orgy where people were naked, but they had like nude colored thongs on.
I was
And it was
just
just a
about to
bunch of
say,
people-
were they just wearing like nude like skin suits, and they were like,
Just bottoms, it seems. But everyone was like making out with each other while a bunch of people just looked on. There you go.
Whack.
50 people orgy. And then Madonna's daughter was there, who's 23, and decided to take her clothes off and go join them.
So she was the one that
so
was
she
actually
wasn't
naked?
part of it. She went like she was like, I'm just gonna go in there.
Yeah, she just said, fuck it.
Okay, so there was 51.
Yeah.
Okay.
They brought 49 people hoping someone else would join.
Wow.
They're like, my OCD is so bad that I need to make it 50. How much do you think they paid these people? How much would someone have to
Probably
pay
too
you to
much.
stage an orgy?
Probably not enough, honestly.
Not enough?
If it's
Well-
at like an art gallery and shit, probably not
Maybe they just were like, "Hey, you want to do an orgy?" And you'd be like, "Hell yeah!" And then it ends up not even being like real. You're just like, "Okay." You're like, "Do I get anything?" They're like, "No, you said yes."
I like
That's probably how
I like
they got
that
the
visual,
people.
that verbal contracts with Eric mean everything. Well, you
He's a
said
man of his
yeah.
word.
Mara, did we ask you what your price would be for the naked waiter position? Were you here for that episode?
Yeah, I think I was.
So you could pay you less for that than to be in a fake orgy.
No, I wouldn't even do the fake orgy, dude. I'm going in or I'm not. Like, I'm fucking or I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to ask, like,
Yeah.
for the
Can
like,
I
specifics.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a woman.
Well, they said everyone was making out with everyone, so
I love
there you
that.
go.
Yeah, that's kissing. That's not. That's not
like-
doing it. That's kissing.
Oh,
Like, that's weird too, because like some people have nasty breath.
that's
they
true, and you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah.
Y'all ever kiss someone with nasty breath?
You okay?
Yeah.
was that actually
No.
okay? I was gonna say that was.
So we're starting a Patreon, everyone, and for $100 a month, we will stage our own orgy wherever you would like us to.
Nothing.
Everyone is in on this idea.
No.
$100 a month.
50 tier, they get your feet pics.
No, that's $125.
Oh, okay.
If you want to see my feet, get that $100 tier, and we'll come to your house and stage an orgy for as many of your friends as you'd like. I'm open to it.
For the small fee of $1,000, I recorded myself picking the lint between Omar's toes.
Ooh.
$1,000. All right.
I might be in.
What's that, Alan? What are you going to support for this Patreon tier?
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
What's your contribution? For what price?
For
you will
our
do,
not safe for
like,
work tier of our Patreon.
I don't know. Like, what do people want to hear? What do they want to see?
All right, for $75 a month, Alan will eat a cucumber with your name on it.
You know what's funny? People would actually probably pay for that.
Yeah.
That's
Like, there's weird
that's
people
funny.
like
As long
that.
as I have
Actually, I
some-
feel like you can make money doing
Some
it.
tahine?
You shouldn't have.
Yeah,
You shouldn't
he'll
have
just
said
go
that because now in
into
like
the
a
camera.
month, someone's gonna get rich off of like doing that. You shouldn't have
Free
said.
market.
You shouldn't have said anything. Damn, that's a good idea.
What are you gonna do, Eric, for our Patreon to get the numbers moving? We're trying to be sexy in 2020.
I don't know. I think it's something for me. I can't.
All right, Stephanie, what would you be okay with Eric doing to bring up the sex appeal of the spit bucket?
Whatever you want them.
It's up to
yeah.
it's up to you because you seem to come up with the best things. So it's up to you.
For $200, Eric will put his own foot in his mouth.
I can't do that actually.
I
Well,
don't think he can bend that far.
no.
No.
Can anyone do that here? Mario? I'm looking
Yeah,
at
I
you.
can do that.
You can do that?
Yeah.
All right, well.
Wait, you can put your
too.
foot in your mouth?
Yeah,
Oh.
I can reach there.
He's got a cool foot.
But he goes from the
do
back. He goes backwards. Legs over his shoulders.
Nah.
$50, Eric does ASMR.
Yeah, for $50, Eric will heat up chicken nuggets and then give them to you and ask you if you're thirsty. Would you like a drink? He'll say,
You like that?
"Can I take your hat through?" All right, who's got another story for us?
I'm going.
I'm drained.
This is kind of spooky, but not like in a.
Oh.
It's more disturbing. All right, so teenager degloves his penis and inverts scrotum in a bike crash.
What does degloves mean?
Read that one more time, please.
Okay, so
but slowly.
Teenager degloves penis and inverts scrotum in bike crash.
Wait, okay. What is a scrotum?
What is D-glove?
So you know, like when you have a glove and you grab it from the bottom and you pull
Oh!
it up, and a scrotum is basically your nutsack.
Okay.
So he turns his nutsack inside out. Is it like that UFC fighter who just got his lip like punched off?
Oh, that was Mr. Overeem last night.
Did that-
that was
How do
wild.
you say his last name? Why
Overeem.
Alistair. Overeem?
Yeah.
I'm mad I missed that fight.
Oh, they have the slow motion clip
I'm
too,
also
where his
mad
just lip
that-
just
I'm
pops
also
straight
mad
out.
that Anthony Joshua lost against. Or no, he won.
No,
he beat
Ruiz lost. Yeah,
He beat Ruiz.
He
At
pulled
first,
a,
I was mad.
He pulled a Mayweather and just ran around the ring.
At first, I was mad that Joshua lost the first time, and then I was like, I probably should be going for Ruiz anyway. And then now I'm mad that he lost.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't even in training camp. He was supposed to start in July, and he didn't. So
That's how you get your lip punched off. I don't know who's who.
I'm gonna look that up while you're talking.
oh, I have it.
Oh, okay. Well, go on. With
So
this.
that's what happened to his penis, but with a bike accident.
Yeah,
You remember?
So,
Wait,
you
okay,
remember?
so hold on. I got
Me
a
first.
serious
I'm just
question.
kidding.
Did it so you use the analogy of like taking it from your wrist up? Mm-hmm. So was it from the head to
It might have been,
the
yeah.
base, or the base to the head?
I'm gonna find out as soon as you guys are like. We're all learning this together. So a new medical case report tells the story of how a teenager degloved his penis and ripped open his scrotum after suffering a freak accident on his bicycle.
You remember when you used to tell me stories about like how I don't know if it was okay, so you remember I don't remember if it was actually like the ruckus or if it was other stories of like people who wore sandals riding mopeds and they'd like rip all their toes off when like
yeah,
they,
like the skin.
crashed.
Basically, like how you peel open a banana. There's because I have a ruckus. It's essentially like a little scooter, like 50 cc's. But there'd be people like whenever we'd go on the big rides, like in Chicago, there'd be people just riding around on, like with sandals on, dude. Like no socks. I'm like, man, you're just asking for fucking
They
trouble.
really are.
Because
When
like,
you think about it, just the idea of being in the city with sandals on is pretty gross.
yeah, it is.
And then to scrape your shit.
And even just walking with like the thong sandals, like I'm too scared that like the
my
thong part will just.
Well, imagine getting punched so hard your lip rips off,
Yeah.
and it knocked him out too.
Yeah.
Yikes.
On top of everything, so when he woke up, his lip was gone.
Dude,
Jam, don't you have a thing about roller skates like coming in between your fingers? Or is that
oh no, the thong sandals like ripping your.
I mean, yeah, isn't that everyone though?
no?
Why would
Yeah.
I don't think about it constantly.
Real shit. Don't bring
When I wear them,
flip-flops
I
around
agree.
me.
But why?
I
What?
fucking hate
You like slip-ons? Because I don't.
Those
I
are
don't,
fine.
Yeah, those are okay. But even,
Huaraches are fine. Chanclas, I will. Don't talk to me.
Those are just to hit children with.
They like make that noise, and I'm just like,
That's nasty. That's why I don't wear sandals without socks.
Yeah,
I don't
same
like
here.
that. I don't like that.
I
don't like that
noise.
butt
especially when
shake
it's
noise.
warm and like your skin is like.
Hearing that noise in like the middle of the night down the street, you know some shit going on.
For $212, Eric will wear chanclas.
ASMR chancla noises.
Yes. Only on really hot days.
But it has to be the Old Navy ones.
Yeah.
All right, go on with this.
So, as reported in BMJ case reports, the 14-year-old was cycling one-handed.
That'll happen.
Hold on, let me.
Wait,
let me-
cycling? This is on like a bicycle?
It was a bicycle.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
His penis fell in the chain.
All right, hold on. So, the 14-year-old was cycling one-handed at walking pace along.
Oh my god.
So he wasn't even going that fast.
Fucking naked?
Like even if you're biking like at walking pace, you have to like be turning your handlebars just to
Right.
like not fall. Anyways, I guess he's holding a drink while going at walking pace along the pavement and somehow collided with a parked car. The handlebars ended up impaling his groin. He was rushed to the A&E at John Radcliffe Hospital in British City of Oxford, where doctors found a large gash.
That sounds like a fake city.
Yeah, where doctors found a large gash extending across his groin, the pubic bone, down to the perineum.
There's a pubic bone?
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. How do you... Never mind.
So, a part of the body...
I don't think I have that one, guys.
Yeah, so the tear extended from his groin to the pubic bone all the way down to the perineum, which is a part of the body between the anus and the genitals. So basically a gooch.
The gooch. I like that spot.
Ivan's favorite part, the
I
gooch.
like that spot,
The
boy.
gooch.
Hell yeah.
They could have just said that.
I
Yeah,
miss Ivan.
but this is kind of like a...
I wonder when Ivan can come play again.
I miss him.
Same here.
All right, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I have... For some reason, I keep getting his mail here. So, Ivan, I have your mail. Come fucking get it,
Are you
guys.
joking?
I got his ass.
get-
No, we literally get his mail.
How?
I don't
Addressed
know.
to this house though. But the thing is that it's always just State Farm envelopes. But he doesn't have State Farm.
He thinks someone stole his identity.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's
It
probably
was-
what happened.
It was me.
Who else?
For $800 a month, I will steal your identity.
So, the injury also ripped and inverted his scrotum and partially degloved the penis. For those who are blissfully unaware of what degloving means, it describes an injury when the skin is completely torn off, the underlying tissue, and its blood supply is severed.
What is underneath the penis skin? I don't even know.
Nothing but trouble.
The teenager's injuries were so severe, doctors were able to see his corpus cavernosa, which is a part of the penis's sponge erectile tissue, the tenuca vaginalis, which is the membrane that covers the testicle. Pediatric surgeons managed to close the wound successfully, and no significant neurovascular damage was found. Remarkably, the teenager was discharged from the hospital the following day with a course of antibiotics. During a 4-week follow-up appointment, he reported having normal sensations in the area and experienced no problem peeing. It's unclear whether the injury will affect his sexual function.
I like that Eric's all happy for him now.
Gotta keep fucking.
He's just nodding.
That sucks.
Because if they ever like wheeled me into the hospital with this type of injury, I would just tell them put me to sleep.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I like put me down, that happened to me from riding a bike at walking speed, just put me down. I can't.
I don't deserve to live if that happens to me, dude.
Is the veterinarian? No, why do you? This is a hospital. I need him to put me down.
Yeah.
Man, I remember. Well, how old was this kid?
14.
14. Do you think? Okay. Do you think he's been smashing or not?
Hell no.
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 Not anymore.
So he doesn't know what he's missing out on if it's worse now, right? So at least that's like the good part about it. Because could you imagine you have it before his horrible accident and then it doesn't feel the same afterwards?
Because he knows. He knows what he's missing.
Yeah, but now he doesn't know. So I guess that's better. Yeah. But anyway, let me tell you guys a little story of when I hurt my little pee-pee.
Okay.
It was actually a biking accident too.
Oh god.
So I had my little mountain bike, and then I found this hill, but it was just like a big mound of dirt that was at the end. It was like at the end of a dead end street. I go all the way as far as I possibly can, and then I start riding my bike downhill, and then I hit this mound so hard, but kind of go through it, not over it. So my bike hits the hill, and then I just fly forward, but my bike doesn't. So then my nuts just get caught, like right on the handlebars. Yeah.
Didn't you say that like you thought you were so cool, and you told your dad like where are you going all this time? And he's like, oh, you want to come see? And you showed your dad, and you fucking busted your nuts.
That was that day.
And you just hit yourself.
He's like, yeah, this.
I'm crying. I was crying like as soon as you started talking about that.
Don't worry, boys. They're in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see him.
They've been the size of soccer balls ever since.
Alright, so the moral of the story, according to the teenager's doctors, is to put a plastic covering on the end of your bike's handlebars. They cite a previous study that looked at over 800 bicycle injuries in children. 21 of those were caused by handlebars. Out of the 10 cases that resulted in life-threatening trauma to the lower abdomen, 10 of them were caused by handlebars that had no plastic coverings at the end.
Well, by plastic coverings, do they mean those little plastic things with the frills on the side? Is that what will protect?
I mean,
the
that
tassels.
counts.
That like
Tassels.
guard in the center, right? With the
I think
The
think
foam?
so.
yeah, with the foam. Yeah.
The foam.
Well,
man.
that's if you
I
have
forgot
that.
all about
That's
that. I
if
used to
you
peel that
have
shit
that.
right off.
Hell yeah.
Because I was gonna say I have a trek bike, so I have one of those looped ones.
The horn ones.
That's
like the ramp.
Probably be a lot worse if I crashed that walking speed.
Yeah, some bikes don't have that, and you're 14. You don't want to be seen with that.
Yeah,
that's true.
So like whenever you get like that fresh bike from like Target or Walmart, you have to take that little padding off, man, because otherwise you'll just look like a bitch.
You take it off, you ride your bike, and you start hitting other kids with it. That's what it's for.
What I want to know is who said adults can't have training wheels? Because I just want to know who said that. Oh, we had the. I'm not even gonna talk.
Do they sell adult training wheels?
No, just don't take them off.
But some bikes don't come with them. Take them off a little kid's bike, put them on the big boy's bike.
I don't know if you guys ever experienced when you had a bike, but there was always that one training wheel that didn't touch the ground.
Yeah. It was on purpose to help you like balance.
Oh.
Do that with your adult one where both of them aren't touching. They're just on the top.
You guys ever like drive around the street and just see like the motorcycles with 3 wheels and you're just like, fucking bitch. Like, can't ride a real bike.
That's actually what I think when I see those. I'm like, if you can't even ride a motorcycle, just don't get one. Cause
I mean, if you're having a midlife crisis, sometimes you just gotta get on the road. Gotta power that hog up, you know? Get out there. But sometimes that hog got 3 wheels.
When hogs have 3 wheels, if we're talking about legs, you put it down. So unless it's like a miracle piggy, in which case I would.
As far as they can tell, doctors believe that this is the first known cause of such injury caused by bike handlebars. Although the case report does note an incident with a 49-year-old man who suffered a similar penis injury after crashing his snowmobile. They also write that the majority of penile degloving injuries are the result of dog attacks. Jesus.
What?
Oh.
So what I'm hearing is that the same injury happens by either a snowmobile or walking with your bike.
Or a dog.
Walking speed.
Well, hold on, there's more. So it's a result of dog attacks, industrial machine accidents, or sexual misadventure. Which, man, you know what? Here's the thing.
You know what? Don't go and dry, boys. That could happen.
Yikes! That was...
So there's someone that I follow on Twitter that like always retweets a bunch of like sex worker like photos and videos, and there was this one of like this dominatrix just like, and I thought it was fake. I swear to God, I thought it was fake. But this guy had like a piece of plywood over him with a hole like for his nuts to come out of, and this bitch
like
with heels was stomping on his nuts, and it's like
some people are into it.
Man, it's like
why would you want?
That's like a one-time thing, though.
I saw one similar to that, but she wasn't wearing heels, but she was using like the furnace to like get good leverage. Jump on.
You know what? Those videos are kind of funny.
Because there was that story not too long ago of the guy who got some dude off of fucking Craigslist to remove his penis like surgically as like a sexual act, and it's like it's a one-time thing. Like
you can't get that back.
To serve it to him?
I don't.
Yeah, they were gonna eat it together, but he died because he wasn't a real surgeon. But that's because it's the handlebars. Do you guys remember your old bikes? The rubber at the very ends would break. So then you could stick your fingers in. Yeah. If your bike
just ride around with your fingers in those holes.
Or if you fell over, it would just be full of dirt. Is that where his penis went? And just shaved it off like a cigar?
Maybe
he was just fucking his bike, and he told everyone he was riding. He was just fucking his bike like this, and just ripped off.
Damn.
You know what? I believe that more than I believed walking it. He's like, I was just walking my bike.
I swear I was just walking. Like,
had they just been like an excuse, he probably did something like really stupid and was like, I think I'm just gonna tell people I ran into a car with my bike, and then turned into a whole. That's horrible.
Because I've never really gotten into a bad accident on my bike, and because.
Or with your penis?
All throughout middle school and high school, like I want to say the first year of high school, I rode around everywhere on my bike, like because all of my friends were on the opposite side of Waukegan, and it was
that
easier.
Before or after you got your bike robbed?
This was
during,
in the middle of it, yeah.
Okay.
So like all my friends would be like towards downtown Waukegan, so it would just make more sense for me to just go to them, and then from there we'd have our little crew of bikes riding around, just causing trouble and shit. Yeah.
And then Alan in the back with training wheels.
But I know a buddy of mine. Actually, I think it might have been Sam. I don't know if you were there, but we were riding around on Jackson. On that big hill, like where they recently demolished that one building. We were riding down that hill, and we're all on our bike, and we had like the BMX pegs, and Sam got a little too close to the fence, and it just fucking got caught, and man, that boy went tumbling.
Oh no!
And I did that badass like stop with my.
I did
the Akira.
Did you see that?
But kind of like Akira, how in that movie,
The slide.
I did that slide, and I was like, "Are you okay?" But no,
His pegs sparked on the ground. The only bike story I had.
Do you remember when Alexis fell on you?
Yeah.
And man, that shit was crazy. So like, for some,
You look, Eric, you look sad.
You know that gangbanger neighbor that I told you. So
Yeah.
I was riding around on his back pegs. He was pedaling the bike, and Eric was in the front. And for some reason, I guess we hit a curb or we hit something too fast. And basically, Eric fell forward. Then the bike fell on top of him. Then Alex fell on top of him. Then I fell on top of him. And he gets up and he's just like straight bleeding everywhere on his face. And one neighbor saw it. And she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And Eric's like, "Yeah." Like honestly, I'm surprised he didn't cry because there was blood everywhere on his face.
No, I actually don't.
Well, there was no
Maybe
exorcisms happening.
Like, something else happened because I don't remember.
Yeah, because don't you remember? Like we walked into the house through the garage, and Ma was in the kitchen, and I was like, "Ma, like Eric got hurt on the bike." And he's my mom didn't really expect it to be that bad. And he's like, "¿Dónde está? Like, ¿estás bien?" Like, and then Eric kind of walks in, and he's just like blood everywhere on his hand. It's like dripping onto his shirt. But my mom ended up like cleaning most of it off, and it was just a couple scratches. But it looks so much worse. And to think that like he fell just basically on the pavement,
Yikes.
and like with two other dudes falling on top of him in a bike, and that was.
Damn,
You didn't pull off that cool slide there, did you?
that's crazy because you're still handsome as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Eric.
Precious boy.
And I think no, and it wasn't a
I
bike.
like that. Well, as soon as you said that, we all look at Eric like it's happening right now.
He's having a flashback. No, the worst thing that's happened to me on our hill is when we had the go-kart that Pa made us, and I got ran over by that old dude. So, like, for some reason, like, I love my dad.
Oh my God!
I love my dad.
Dude, I forgot about that. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad. It was so fucking. It was you, me, and Andrew, and I think Sam also might have been there too.
I forgot about it.
I don't know why, but I was like, "Dad, I want a go-kart." And my dad, being like the fucking angel that he is, he built me a fucking go-kart, like from fucking like Ace Hardware. He went and got all the things, and it was
My dad
all.
could never. Candido could never.
You said you want an ostrich.
Yeah. So he literally built this like wooden go-kart where you're able to like the front wheels are on a pivot, so like it had two pedals and you're able to steer that way, and it had a brake and everything.
Nice.
And
Wow.
he built this.
Dude,
all
you could probably drift with that shit, huh?
I wish I could, but no, it was too heavy.
Probably, yeah.
So like we live on this hill, right? And usually what we do is like whenever, because we used it for like I think a year and a half. It was so much fun, dude. And usually what we do is that when we'd have enough people, we'd have two people standing at the bottom of the hill as a lookout. And for some reason, like the one time we didn't do it, like all you see is like from their perspective.
How I saw it
It's
was
like just me just going down the hill and then just and then a fucking.
You were going down there?
I was going down.
So,
It was just me.
I just remember. I just remember being at the top of it. I thought it was cool, like at first, because like. We were like, all right, go down the hill. He's like, all right, and he like goes down. I was like, yeah, and like, he's like, yeah, come on, yeah. You guys have seen my hill, so like he goes down and like he's about to like follow the curve to like slow down instead of going straight. And he goes like this, no, he's just like a car goes like over,
Dude.
And I was
A car, like a fucking.
I like ran down the hill. I was like, holy shit! I was like, are you okay? He's like, dude, that car just ran over my leg. Because you gotta imagine, so you're on it, like, I mean, you guys can see it, but like you're on it like this, and the car like went over
literally like in Mario Kart.
the car like went over his shin.
Yeah, dude. So here's
car
what
went
happened.
over your shit.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
This was
It was like an SUV, I think.
Ford
I just
Ranger.
It was like a Dodge Durango, like
It didn't. No, it did not stop. It
No, here. So here's what happened. So I go down the
stopped
hill.
on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a 4-way intersection, but there's no stop sign. So like what I normally do is I'll kind of like hit an apex, and I'll from the left side of the street, and I'll hit the right end of that corner to slow down because the handbrake alone wasn't enough.
Right.
Usually when we have a lookout, we go all the way down to the very bottom of that cul-de-sac, and that's where we'd kind of pick it up, and it had a string and everything, so we'd able to pull it back up the hill. So
Precious.
for whatever reason, like I just was like, nah, what are the chances of a car coming down at this,
On this street.
lovely Saturday afternoon or whatever it was. All I remember is seeing the car, and as soon as I see the car, I know what's gonna happen, and I start to black out a little bit, and I'm like, oh no. So he steps on his brakes, and for some reason, I don't remember how it happened, but his wheel basically destroyed the front end of my go-kart, and the wheel actually went over my shin.
But did
the
it
wood
hit it, or it went over it, like literally over?
No,
your
like
shin?
I guess somehow the wood kept my foot from getting crushed, or maybe it just happened so fast that like it was just one of those. Maybe it just had low tire pressure or something. But it literally went over. Like the wheel was between my feet, and the corner of that front bumper hit me in the face.
Oh my god!
So like this sweet old man comes out. Oh my god! Like you gotta imagine like just driving
He
around.
thought he just killed a child.
He thought he just like fucking ran over a kid. And he comes out. He's literally like he's tearing up. He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I didn't see you. I swear. And I'm like, nah. I got up and I wanted to cry, but I didn't. So I got up. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And I started like hobbling my way up the hill, like trying to like drag my broken go-kart. And he's like trying to stop me. He's like, no, please, like, you need to go to the doctor. And I looked at him. I'm like, look, I'm fine. Like, I don't want to get you in trouble. Like,
wait, is that why you limp?
Yeah, that's why I walk with a limp now. So
I just thought it's because you were a pimp.
he literally like. I felt so bad because I know it wasn't his fault, but he would have gotten blamed for it.
Right.
But I tried to play it cool because I was.
And Eric's like, yeah.
At first, it
I tried
was
to play it
cool until I saw that. I was like,
I saw your brother get hit by a car.
yeah, you had to imagine like this go kart is like
It had to weigh like 60 pounds.
It
This
was
thing
a small
heavy.
go kart, but like I guess like the design of it is like an H design, so it's like the back wheels on a piece of like straight wood. Then it's like the part you sit on, and then the part that is on the thing. You would think like this hits it, your legs are just gonna like
Right.
yeah, but it didn't surprisingly. But
I mean, it destroyed my go kart, and as soon as I told my dad what happened, he hit me.
I remember that too. Well, yeah, he could have died from it. Had he gone any further, that car would have killed him.
Right, but I don't know. I feel like if your child just went through something traumatic, you don't.
But he hit me because I went down the hill without someone looking out. That was my own dumbass fault.
There was a lot more that was wrong than just him getting hit.
Yeah. But honestly, like I'm glad that I let that guy get. I told him just to leave. Like,
Hey, what happened afterwards?
nothing. I mean,
You just had to sit it out for
I just had to walk it off.
You didn't have no scrapes, no nothing.
I don't remember.
just emotional
It was
ones.
so long ago.
It
It was
That was like middle school, I think. I want to say that I was in like 6th or 7th grade when this happened.
Did you go to school the next day and be like, hey, I got hit by a fucking car. I can't do this math test.
This might have been during summer break, so I don't really remember. But yeah, I got ran over.
Wow.
What a badass.
So that was cool.
Do we have another story to follow that?
Wait, you're talking about like personal story?
Or news story?
Anything? No, but I was gonna say because when he was asking me like if I remember like my bike stories, I was gonna bring up that the only bike story that like always sticks with me is when me, him, and our 2 hood neighbors rode our bikes, and then my chain broke and he left me there.
What?
Yeah, that's
My
when I
chain
met
broke
Andrew.
and he got
Because my bike broke, and I was like, my chain broke, and you guys just left me and started crying. And then my friend Andrew, it happened like right in front of my friend Andrew's house. And then his dad came out and was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. I was like, my chain broke. And like, they just left me here. And then he took me home, and then that's when my parents met him, and then that's when me and my best friend Andrew became friends. It was because of that.
Was because Alan
Because he
You're
left
welcome.
me. So technically, I have him to thank for that, but not in the best way. Also, I was gonna say, it's not even a bike story, but
I'm gonna be real with you though. I do not remember that at all. Was this with Austin
it was
and Cadero?
Austin, yeah.
Fuck those guys, man.
That's probably why you left me. You were like, I just leave him. No, I was gonna say, going back to the whole getting hurt in the PP thing. The only time that I can remember,
Steffi's looking
also,
kind of suspicious.
I was gonna say the only time I can remember like something like bogus happening that I tried to like man it out. I was playing basketball at the field house, and I got hit with the ball. Like someone was trying to I was like defending, and someone tried to like throw the ball past me. So when I tried to block it, I went too forward.
You blocked it with your dick.
It hit me in my pee-pee, and then I was like, ooh, and I like went on the ground, and I got up, and he's like, you okay? I was like, yeah. I was like, don't worry about it, and I tried to jog, and I just fell. So like I did like the anime, like when they just like fall over. I was literally, I'm gonna get up to show you, but you guys don't have to worry. Like I was like this, I was like, yeah, I'm fine, and I went like this, and I just like fell over like that. And I was like, and I literally thought I was gonna throw up. I was like, know what? I was like, I guess I'm not okay. Because he like if you see actual games, people like throw the ball to try and pass it like a lot more.
Have you ever gotten like a basketball thrown at you and then it jams your finger? That happened to you, but with your penis?
Yeah, basically.
Because you remember when we were playing basketball in our front neighbor's house? And what, dude? So like we were doing a little 2-on-2. It was 2-on-2, and our buddy Juan. I don't know, like he's never been like the athletic type. None of us were, but like we're just kind of like really going all out in this basketball game. and for some reason he tried to like run up to the basketball hoop, and he jumped. And for some reason, I guess was it Andrew that hit him from behind?
I don't know what.
Somebody had hit him from behind, and he ended up like jumping, and his body somehow in midair turned like a full 90 degrees, and he basically like clotheslined himself on the basketball hoop, fell, and he's like, and then we asked him like, and we go to like, are you okay? And the only thing that he's got his eyes are like blistered shut, and he's like, did I make it? And we're like, no, dude, no, you didn't. And he's like, damn.
Well, you remember the time you tried doing that? You went like nut first into the.
Oh no, I don't remember. I'm talking about when
into the basket.
That's the time you were thinking about with Andrew. We were all playing, and you tried to go in for the dunk, and you went like.
Yeah, so for some reason
yourself on the pole.
You fell like back first on the floor.
I smacked my head on the concrete. This was bad because like I don't remember what happened or why I even allowed it to happen, but there was like a nice juicy rebound, and I went up. I jumped. I had to have jumped like 7 feet in the air, right? So I grabbed it, and for some reason, like when I grab it, my hands just kind of freeze, and I just fall straight back, and I smack my head on the concrete, and everyone was laughing. But then they asked me if I was okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But at the same time, I felt like I was bleeding from my eyes, and everything was ringing, and I'm like,
Alan had a fun cushion.
Wow.
And I remember I walked around a little bit, and I ended up going inside, and I think I started crying.
You just throw up?
Aww.
I almost threw up. I do remember that.
I think you might
One
have
of
had
these stories is that boys need to learn it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Nah, we
I cry
ain't pussies. Am I
We ain't
right?
doing that shit.
When Oliver hurts himself growing up playing sports, I'm gonna be like, ya ves? Like,
when he brings you to a mound of dirt and he's like, hey, Dad, check this shit out.
Be like, I know what's gonna happen, and if it happens to you, vas a ver. I did have a story, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna say the name of it so you guys can talk about it. So the article title is "Why U.S. Bird Attacks on Human Are on Rise."
Oh.
I thought you said birds aren't real.
That's why they're attacking people.
I'll never forget when you took us to the car wash in Macomb, and you're like, oh, these birds are always fighting.
Yeah. I told you guys I saw 2 birds fighting on the street.
And we saw them a few days later. And
I was like, damn, that's a big ass bird. I was like, oh wait, that's 2 birds fighting. And they were like, yeah.
Was it a car wash,
on the
right?
floor.
Because it was a car wash, right?
Yeah, we were
leaving the car wash, and Eric rolls his window down, and some lady had no idea what was going on, just back in the car.
Like,
and Eric screamed out, "Birds aren't real!"
I was like, yeah, bird. I remember yelling that too. I was like, birds aren't real. I was like, oh shit, they're fighting. My manager told me a story where she saw 2. She came up to 2 birds fighting, and she said when she came up enough to where they noticed, one of the birds had the other one by the beak with its feet.
His feet.
Yeah, she said that.
What is it about birds in Macomb that would just want to fucking fight?
No, yeah, but I was gonna say, I mean, because what the reason why like that's so funny is because like there's those videos of like people trying to like interact with is it geese or goose if it's just one?
Goose. Oh, goose. Yeah.
Goose, and then like it attacks them.
Yeah.
Like you guys see that video of that lady's trying to record one, and it like comes up and she like falls like face first.
Well, they're pretty aggressive animals. The ones here in Waukegan, like by the park, they're really nice. They don't bother anyone. But dude, in Buffalo Grove, when I worked at Wendy's for a few years, every summer they would basically like run that entire fucking plaza, and I've gotten attacked twice
by geese.
Like straight up bit.
Really?
Yeah. And
does it hurt?
It fucking dude.
Really?
They're aggressive as hell. They're very territorial.
I remember getting off the
hurt.
bus. It had to have been like my senior year, getting off the bus, and that fucking sidewalk. I had a reputation for every winter I would fall and bust my ass and have to change into like my gym sweatpants because I would just get like.
I remember that happened when we first started dating. I saw you in the morning, then I saw you later that afternoon, and you were sweats. I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah, it was literally from like lower back to the back of my knee, just mud. And it would happen every fucking year. And that one
she
year,
farted, and that's how she was covering it up.
that one last, I'm like, this is my senior year. I'm not gonna let anything happen to me. And then, sure enough, I look up from my phone. There's a fucking goose just looking at me, waiting for me to act. Just do something to it. And then I didn't do anything but just like keep walking and look. And it hissed at me, and I slid 2 feet on my heels because I was so fucking scared. But I didn't actually fall on my ass that year. So
Yeah.
The highlight of senior year.
I don't know, like it's just funny, like how like when you try to feed like seagull at the beach, seagulls at the beach.
Just one.
And then they all come out of nowhere, and the person with the food gets like attacked by them all.
There's a
It's
home
things
video.
like that.
There's a home video of me sitting at in a hole at the beach in the Zion Beach, and I'm eating the Okie Doke popcorn, and I'm just throwing like 2
I
or 3
remember
pieces.
you told this story, but it's funny.
And
I
then
remember this.
it's like 1 or 2, and then my mom like pans the camera to someone else, pans it back to me, and it's just birds are surrounding me. Like you cannot see the sand because
She lost consciousness.
Her mom was like, "Okay, we need a new child."
The birds took this one. This one's for the birds.
Tweet, tweet.
It's just like I know like owls and birds. I know they can both like I don't know what's the right way to phrase it, but like I know those aren't really like similar. But like there was like another video I saw where like an owl was on someone's like apartment railing, like on their porch, and like it doesn't notice him, so he comes up and pets it. He's just like petting it, and the owl is like liking it, and looks back and sees the person, and it just starts freaking out and like sticks its legs out. And,
What
like,
do you think was happening?
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny once you think about it, because what was the owl thinking? But to think it got that defensive after it realized it was just like something it didn't know.
Wow.
Like that could happen. Like that's why. Like I don't know. You
That
don't
only
mess with
happens to
birds,
owls
like-
and people who take the bus.
I mean, just imagine you're sitting in a park bench and just someone's running their fingers through your hair behind you.
But it feels kind of
Yeah,
good.
exactly. And you're like, oh, that's nice, and you're like, wait a minute.
I came here alone.
Like you tend to do that to me at the gym
A lot.
when I'm on like some machine, like doing like rowing, and then you just grab me by like the waist, and I'm like,
Oh, I do that too.
like this is a nice embrace. And I'm like, wait a second, because I have my headphones on, so I didn't even hear
Yeah.
you coming.
You just hear, who's it?
There was one time a hawk tried to psych me out while I was driving. I was in a car and a bird tried to scare me. Like a hawk tried to freak me, and it almost did. I was on like a corner.
It's like, I
road.
almost left with my parents that day.
I was on like a long road where there's like corn on all sides, and I'm just driving. I'm looking out of my windshield, right? And then I see something coming towards me, and I was like, damn. I was like, that bird's like really small, and it starts getting closer, and into this big ass hawk. I was like, this thing's about to fucking drive straight into me, and it literally just goes like, and like goes right past me. I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
There's also the time I saw a hawk kill something like double its size in the back of the Gurney Mall, and I've been scarred ever since. I don't think you've heard this.
Now, what
story.
is the back of the Gurney Mall?
It's like where like the back of stores where you can like throw your stuff away instead of like having to go through the mall or going to like
It's like the innards.
Okay,
the
that's
inner-
not
so,
like
like-
the back.
But
Like,
now imagine a 7-foot tall humanoid.
I actually almost wanted to
with
be dead
big
after
wings.
I saw the bird kill that thing. I was like, I just remember it was my lunch break. I'll say it real quickly. It was my lunch break. I walk out and I can see it because it's a big bird. So I see it all the way over there. I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's a big bird. And I'm like walking and I get closer and it looks up at me and I see something on the floor. I was like, wait. I was like, did it kill something? And I take like one more step. And it gets up, so like, I mean, you guys will see it. The bird was about like this big, like when it like opened
Like
its wings.
3 feet.
Yeah, it was like that big, and it flew off, and it had something like this big, like just like pick it up.
Like a
and,
4-foot
flew off,
creature?
and I walked forward, and there was just like a pool of blood, and then it like what? How do you say? It like squawked, and it like echoed, and I was like, I literally
It
never
cawed?
want to see a bird. Yeah, it cawed, and I was like, I.
That's why-
be dead right now.
But
That's
you
why I'm
still don't believe that birds are real.
No, I do. They're just creepy. And they're dirty.
Pigeons are dirty. The rats of the sky.
Real quick, if you there's a video on Twitter. I'm gonna have to show you guys later. But someone's putting cowboy hats on pigeons in Las Vegas. And they're saying that that's the results of legalizing weed. Like people start doing shit like
People
that.
catching birds and putting some birds.
Damn,
cowboy
well,
hats.
weed's about to be legal in Illinois. I was going to say
Hell
the U.S.
yeah.
In Illinois in January. So now imagine the people who run into that 7-foot monster.
They're gonna try
you
to
know,
put
here.
a sombrero.
remember that story you told like a long ass time ago about that pigeon with the bedazzled vest?
Yeah.
Oh,
And we all got sad because you're like, oh, he probably missed his date.
With that idea in your head now, make sure you look to the skies because there's a fucking monster there. And when you're not looking at the sky and looking at your phone, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _TheSharkBoy.
Follow me on anything at PunkNap, and I'm mad not all of you in this room have followed me on everything.
I don't. I only have Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram.com.
Better get everything from
No.
me.
Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Stephanie with 4 E's _22.
That wasn't so bad.
Instagram.com
//
/long__time with no O or I.
.com.
.com.
No
No, .com.
vowels.
Anyway. Don't look for me.
There's a vowel, but there's only
Your
E.
birds don't come because I will cry.
Please, no birds follow Eric.
No birds. No bird. Oh, there was one time I locked my keys on my... So I did have Twitter. I lied. I locked my keys in my car, and I wrote on Twitter. I was like, I tweeted. I was like, damn, I locked my keys in my car. And a page called "Locking My Keys in My Car" liked my status. I was like, I fucking hate you. I was like, someone literally made this page just to do this. Why? And it happened to me.
At least it wasn't a bird.
They're gonna come after me.
There's bird accounts, and just follow him.
If you're a bird, please follow our boy Eric.
We're coming for you.
And you can follow me on Instagram at AlanZF1.
Alright. Cool. As he rubs his tummy. Alright. We'll see you guys next week at the Spit Bucket. Oh, tell your friends. 5 stars. Only 5 stars. We got new platforms coming. Woo. Yeah, we're going to be on more things now. So, all you Android fucks can go to heck.
Yeah, you can listen to us in 8-bit with your Androids.
We'll let you know once that's official, but there's more coming. So make sure to tell your friends and keep giving us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
Sorry.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. That's me clapping my balls.